Chapter 11. It happened, when Jabin king of Hazor heard of it, that he sent to Jobab king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Akshap, and to the kings who were on the north in the hill country, and in the Arabah south of Chinneroth, and in the lowland, and in the heights of Dor on the west, to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the hill country, and the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. They went out, they and all their hosts with them, many people, even as the sand that is on the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots very many. All these kings met together, and they came and encamped together at the waters of Merom to fight with Israel. The Lord said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid because of them, for tomorrow at this time I will deliver them up, all slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses, and burn their chariots with fire." So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and fell on them. The Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, and they struck them, and chased them to Sidon, and to Misrephoth-Maim, and to the valley of Mizpah eastward, and they struck them until they left them none remaining. Joshua did to them as the Lord bade him. He hamstrung their horses, and burnt their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back at that time, and took Hazor, and struck the king of it with the sword, for Hazor before was the head of all those kingdoms. They struck all the souls who were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was none left who breathed, and he burnt Hazor with fire. All the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them, did Joshua take, and he struck them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only, that did Joshua burn. All the spoil of these cities and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey to themselves, but every man they struck with the edge of the sword, until they had destroyed them, neither left they any who breathed. As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hill country, and all the south, and all the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Arabah, and the hill country of Israel, and the lowland of the same, from Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, even to Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon under Mount Hermon. And all their kings he took, and struck them, and put them to death. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. They took all in battle. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts to come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them, as the Lord commanded Moses. Joshua came at that time, and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. There was none of the Anakim left in the land of the children of Israel, only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod did some remain. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord spoke to Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes. The land had rest from war. Chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land, whom the children of Israel struck, and possessed their land beyond the Jordan, toward the sunrise, from the valley of Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and half Gilead, even to the river Jabbok, the border of the children of Ammon, and the Arabah to the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and to the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, eastward, the way to Beth Jesimoth, and on the south under the slopes of Pisgah, and the borders of Og king of Bashan, of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon, and in Salakah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Gershurites, and the Maccathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Moses the servant of the Lord and the children of Israel struck them, and Moses the servant of the Lord gave it for a possession to the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh. These are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the children of Israel struck beyond the Jordan westward, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even to Mount Halak, that goes up to Seir. And Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and in the Arabah, and in the slopes, and in the wilderness, and in the south, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, the king of Jericho, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Debir, the king of Geder, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tappuah, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shimron Meron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Taanach, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kedesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the height of Dor, the king of Goim in Gilgal, the king of Tirzah. All the kings, 31. Chapter 13. Now Joshua was old and well stricken in years, and the Lord said to him, You are old and well stricken in years, and there remains yet very much land to be possessed. This is the land that yet remains, all the regions of the Philistines, and all the Geshurites, from the Shihor which is before Egypt, even to the border of Ekron northward, which is reckoned to the Canaanites, the 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazites, and the Ashdodites, and the Ashkelonites, the Gittites, and the Ekronites, also the Avim, on the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Mearah, which belongs to the Sidonians, to Aphek, to the border of the Amorites, and the land of the Gebalites, and all Lebanon toward the sunrise, from Baal-Gad under Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country, from Lebanon to Misrephoth-Maim, even all the Sidonians. Them I will drive out from before the children of Israel. Only allot you it to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. With him the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them, beyond the Jordan eastward, even as Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. From Aroer, that is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain of Medeba to Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, to the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salakah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. The same was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. For these did Moses strike, and drove them out. Nevertheless the children of Israel didn't drive out the Geshurites, nor the Maccathites, but Geshur and Maacath dwell in the midst of Israel to this day. Only to the tribe of Levi he gave no inheritance. The offerings of the Lord, the God of Israel, made by fire are his inheritance, as he spoke to him. Moses gave to the tribe of the children of Reuben according to their families. Their border was from Aroer, that is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon, and all its cities that are in the plain, Dibon, and Bamoth Baal, and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, and Kiriathaim, and Sibmah, and Zereth Shachar, in the mount of the valley, and Beth Peor, and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jesamoth, and all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses struck with the chiefs of Midian, Evi and Rekem and Zur and Hur and Reba, the princes of Sihon who lived in the land. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel kill with the sword among the rest of their slain. The border of the children of Reuben was the Jordan, and the border of it. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben according to their families, the cities and the villages of it. Moses gave to the tribe of Gad, to the children of Gad according to their families. Their border was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon, to Aroer that is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir, and in the valley Beth Haram, and Beth Nimrah, and Succoth, and Zaphon. The rest of the kingdom of Sihon the king of Heshbon, the Jordan and the border of it, to the uttermost part of the sea of Chinnereth beyond the Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad, according to their families, the cities and the villages of it. Moses gave inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh, and it was for the half-tribe of the children of Manasseh, according to their families. Their border was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities, and half Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei. The cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan were for the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, even for the half of the children of Machir, according to their families. These are the inheritances which Moses distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward. But to the tribe of Levi Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he spoke to them. Chapter 14. These are the inheritances which the children of Israel took in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed to them, by the lot of their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half-tribe beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they gave no portion to the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with the suburbs of it for their cattle and for their substance. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah drew near to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said to him, You know the thing that the Lord spoke to Moses, the man of God, concerning me and concerning you in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him word again as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brothers who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon your foot is trodden shall be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God. Now behold, the Lord has kept me alive as he spoke these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel walked in the wilderness. And now, behold, I am this day 85 years old. I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war, and to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this hill country, whereof the Lord spoke in that day. For you heard in that day how the Anakim were there, and cities great and fortified. It may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out as the Lord spoke. Joshua blessed him, and he gave Hebron to Caleb the son of Jephunneh for an inheritance. Therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite to this day, because he wholly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the name of Hebron before was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. The land had rest from war. Chapter 15. The lot for the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families, was to the border of Edom, even to the wilderness of Zin southward, at the uttermost part of the south. Their south border was from the uttermost part of the salt sea, from the bay that looked southward, and it went out southward from the ascent of Akarabim, and passed along to Zin, and went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along by Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka, and it passed along to Asmon, and went out at the brook of Egypt, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the salt sea, even to the end of the Jordan. The border of the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the end of the Jordan, and the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Arabah, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben, and the border went up to Debir, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is over against the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed along to the waters of En-Shemesh, and the goings out of it were at En-Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, the same as Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the uttermost part of the valley of Rephaim northward. And the border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border extended to Bela, the same as Kiriath-Jearim. And the border turned out from Bela westward to Mount Seir, and passed along to the side of Mount Jearim on the north, the same as Chesalon, and went down to Beth-Shemesh, and passed along by Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward, and the border extended to Shikaron, and passed along to Mount Bela, and went out at Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. The west border was to the great sea, and the border of it. This is the border of the children of Judah round about according to their families. To Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a portion among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak, the same as Hebron. Caleb drove out there the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. He went up there against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir before was Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, He who strikes Kiriath Sepher and takes it, to him will I give Aksha, my daughter, as wife. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Aksha his daughter as wife. It happened when she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she alighted from off her donkey, and Caleb said, What do you want? She said, Give me a blessing, for you have set me in the land of the south. Give me also springs of water. He gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. The uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur, and Kina and Dimona and Adada, and Kedesh, and Hazor and Ithan, and Telim, and Bealoth, Hazor Hadada, Kerioth Hezron, the same as Hazor, Ammon and Shema and Molada, and Hazar Gadah, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Biziothia, and Bela, and Aim, and Ezem, and Eltolad, and Chesel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmana, and Sansana, and Labaoth, and Shilhim, and Aim, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages. In the lowlands, Eshtaol, and Zorah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and Inganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soka, Azekah, and Sha'araim, and Adithaim, and Gerarah, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages, Zenon, and Hadashah, and Migdal-Gad, and Dilian, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Boscath, and Eglon, and Cabon, and Laman, and Chidlish, and Gederoth, Beth Dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Iphthah, and Asnah, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Achzib, and Maresha, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod its towns and its villages, Gaza its towns and its villages, to the brook of Egypt, and the great sea in the border of it. In the hill country, Shamir, and Jatir, and Soko, and Dana, and Kiriath Sana, the same is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemoh, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages, Ereb, and Duma, and Ishan, and Janim, and Beth Tappuah, and Aphekah, and Humta, and Kiriath Arba, the same as Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages, Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages, Halhul, Bethsur, and Kedor, and Marath, and Beth-Anon, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages, Kiriath Baal, the same as Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Middin, and Sakaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah couldn't drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. Chapter 16. The lot came out for the children of Joseph from the Jordan at Jericho, at the waters of Jericho on the east, even the wilderness, going up from Jericho through the hill country to Bethel. And it went out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along to the border of the Archites to Ataroth. And it went down westward to the border of the Japhletites, to the border of Beth-horon the lower, even to Gezer, and the goings out of it were at the sea. The children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. The border of the children of Ephraim according to their families was thus. The border of their inheritance eastward was Ataroth Adar, to Beth-horon the upper. And the border went out westward at Mikmethath, on the north, and the border turned about eastward to Tanath Shiloh, and passed along it on the east of Janoah. And it went down from Janoah to Ataroth, and to Nara, and reached to Jericho, and went out at the Jordan. From Tappuah the border went along westward to the brook Elkanah, and the goings out of it were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families, together with the cities which were set apart for the children of Ephraim in the midst of the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. They didn't drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell in the midst of Ephraim to this day, and are become servants to do forced labor. Chapter 17. This was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. So the lot was for the rest of the children of Manasseh, according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh the son of Joseph according to their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters, and these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brothers of their father. There fell 10 parts to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the sons of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethath, which is before Shechem, and the border went along to the right hand, to the inhabitants in Tappuah. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. The border went down to the brook of Cana, southward of the brook. These cities belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh, and the border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and the goings out of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was his border. And they reached to Asher on the north, and Issachar on the east. Manasseh had in Issachar, and in Asher Bethshean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, even the 3 heights. Yet the children of Manasseh couldn't drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. It happened, when the children of Israel had grown strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor, and didn't utterly drive them out. The children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given me but one lot and one part for an inheritance, seeing I am a great people, because hereto Yahweh has blessed me? Joshua said to them, If you are a great people, go up to the forest, and cut down for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you. The children of Joseph said, The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are in Bethshean and its towns, and they who are in the valley of Jezreel. Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, You are a great people, and have great power. You shall not have one lot only, but the hill country shall be yours, for though it is a forest, you shall cut it down, and the goings out of it shall be yours, for you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have chariots of iron, and though they are strong. Chapter 18. The whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh, and set up the tent of meeting there, and the land was subdued before them. There remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet divided their inheritance. Joshua said to the children of Israel, How long are you slack to go in to possess the land which the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you? Appoint for you 3 men of each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall arise and walk through the land, and describe it according to their inheritance, and they shall come to me. They shall divide it into 7 portions. Judah shall abide in his border on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their border on the north. You shall describe the land in the 7 portions, and bring the description here to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. For the Levites have no portion among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance, and Gad and Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan eastward, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. The men arose and went, and Joshua charged those who went to describe the land, saying, Go, and walk through the land and describe it, and come again to me, and I will cast lots for you here before the Lord in Shiloh. The men went and passed through the land, and described it by cities into 7 portions in a book, and they came to Joshua to the camp at Shiloh. Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land to the children of Israel according to their divisions. The lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the border of their lot went out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Their border on the north quarter was from the Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north, and went up through the hill country westward, and the goings out of it were at the wilderness of Beth-avim. The border passed along from there to Luz, to the side of Luz, the same as Bethel, southward, and the border went down to Ataroth-adar, by the mountain that lies on the south of Beth-horon the lower. The border extended there, and turned about on the west quarter southward, from the mountain that lies before Beth-horon southward, and the goings out of it were at Kiriath-baal, the same as Kiriath-jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. The south quarter was from the uttermost part of Kiriath-jearim, and the border went out westward, and went out to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. And the border went down to the uttermost part of the mountain that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is in the valley of Rephaim northward. And it went down to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, and went down to En-Rogel. And it extended northward, and went out at En-Shemesh, and went out to Gileoth, which is over against the ascent of Adumim, and went down to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And it passed along to the side over against the Arabah northward, and went down to the Arabah. And the border passed along to the side of Beth-Hoglah northward, and the goings out of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of the Jordan. This was the south border. The Jordan was the border of it on the east border. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, by the borders of it round about, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, and Beth-Hoglah, and Amek-Keziz, and Beth-Arabah, and Zimraim, and Bethel, and Avim, and Parah, and Ophrah, and Shephar Ammoni, and Ophni, and Geba, 12 cities with their villages, Gibeon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpah, and Shiphrah, and Mosa, and Rechem, and Irpil, and Tarhalah, and Zelah, Eleph, and the Jebusite, the same as Jerusalem, Gibeath, and Kiriath, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, according to their families. Chapter 19. The second lot came out for Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families, and their inheritance was in the midst of the inheritance of the children of Judah. They had for their inheritance Beersheba, or Sheba, and Moladah, and Hasar Shual, and Bala, and Azim, and Eltolad, and Bethu, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Beth Markoboth, and Hasar Shusha, and Beth Laboth, and Sharuhim, 13 cities with their villages, Ain, Rimmon, and Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities with their villages, and all the villages that were round about these cities, to Baalath Beer, Ramah of the south. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families. Out of the part of the children of Judah was the inheritance of the children of Simeon, for the portion of the children of Judah was too much for them. Therefore the children of Simeon had an inheritance in the midst of their inheritance. The third lot came up for the children of Zebulun, according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was to Sarid, and their border went up westward, even to Merilah, and reached to Dabbesheth, and it reached to the brook that is before Jokneam, and it turned from Sarid eastward toward the sunrise to the border of Chislot-Tabor, and it went out to Daberath, and went up to Japhia. And from there it passed along eastward to Gath-Hepher, and to Eth-Kassim, and it went out at Rimmon, which stretches to Neah. And the border turned about it on the north to Hanathon, and the goings out of it were at the valley of Iftael, and at Katah, and Nahalal, and Shimron, and Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Zebulun, according to their families, these cities with their villages. The fourth lot came out for Issachar, even for the children of Issachar according to their families. Their border was to Jezreel, and Chesulloth, and Shunem, and Hapharaim, and Shion, and Anaharath, and Rabith, and Kishion, and Ebez, and Remeth, and Enganim, and Enhadah, and Beth-Pazaz. And the border reached to Tabor, and Shahazumah, and Beth-Shemeth. And the goings out of their border were at the Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of children of Issachar, according to their families, the cities with their villages. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families. Their border was Helkath, and Hali, and Betin, and Akshaph, and Alamelech, and Amad, and Mishal, and it reached to Carmel westward, and to Shihor-Limnath, and it turned toward the sunrise to Beth-Dagon, and reached to Zebulun, and to the valley of Iftael northward, to Beth-Emek and Nail, and went out to Kabul on the left hand, and Ebron, and Rohab, and Haman, and Cana, even to great Sidon. And the border turned to Ramah, and to the fortified city of Tyre, and the border turned to Hosa, and the goings out of it were by the sea, of the region of Achzib. Ummah also, and Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came out for the children of Naphtali, even for the children of Naphtali according to their families. Their border was from Heleph, from the oak in Zaananim, and Adaminakeb, and Jabneel, to Lacham, and the goings out of it were at the Jordan. And the border turned westward to Asnoth Tabor, and went out from there to Hukok, and it reached to Zebulun on the south, and reached to Asher on the west, and to Judah at the Jordan toward the sunrise. The fortified cities were Ziddim, Zer, and Hamath, Rakath, and Chinnereth, and Adamah, and Ramah, and Hazor, and Kadesh, and Adriai, and In Hazor, Iron, and Migdalel, Horem, and Bethanath, and Bethshemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, according to their families, the cities with their villages. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of the children of Dan, according to their families. The border of their inheritance was Zorah, and Eshtaol, and Irshemesh, and Shalabin, and Ajalon, and Ithla, and Elon, and Timnah, and Ekron, and Eltekeh, and Gibbethon, and Baalath, and Jehud, and Ben-Eberak, and Gath-Rimmon, and Merjakon, and Rakon, with the border over against Joppa. The border of the children of Dan went out beyond them, for the children of Dan went up and fought against Leshem, and took it, and struck it with the edge of the sword, and possessed it, and lived therein, and called Leshem Dan, after the name of Dan their father. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan, according to their families, these cities with their villages. So they made an end of distributing the land for inheritance by the borders of it, and the children of Israel gave an inheritance to Joshua the son of Nun in the midst of them. According to the commandment of the Lord, they gave him the city which he asked, even Timnath-Sherah in the hill country of Ephraim. And he built the city and lived there. These are the inheritances which Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel, distributed for an inheritance by lot in Shiloh before the Lord, at the door of the tent of meeting. So they made an end of the dividing of the land. Chapter 20. The Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Assign the cities of refuge, whereof I spoke to you by Moses, that the manslayer who kills any person unwittingly and unaware may flee there, and they shall be to you for a refuge from the avenger of blood. He shall flee to one of those cities, and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city, and declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city, and they shall take him into the city to them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. If the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver up the manslayer into his hand, because he struck his neighbor unaware, and didn't hate him before. He shall dwell in that city, until he stand before the congregation for judgment, until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. Then shall the manslayer return, and come to his own city, and to his own house, to the city from whence he fled. They set apart Kadesh in Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, the same as Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. Beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness, in the plain out of the tribes of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the appointed cities for all the children of Israel, and for the stranger who sojourns among them, that whoever kills any person unwittingly might flee there, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until he stood before the congregation. Chapter 21. Then came near the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites, to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel. And they spoke to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us cities to dwell in, with the suburbs of it for our cattle. The children of Israel gave to the Levites out of their inheritance, according to the commandment of the Lord, these cities with their suburbs. the lot came out for the families of the Kohathites. And the children of Aaron the priest, who were of the Levites, had by lot out of the tribe of Judah, and out of the tribe of the Simeonites, and out of the tribe of Benjamin 13 cities. The rest of the children of Kohath had by lot out of the families of the tribe of Ephraim, and out of the tribe of Dan, and out of the half-tribe of Manasseh 10 cities. The children of Gershon had by lot out of the families of the tribe of Issachar, and out of the tribes of Asher, and out of the tribe of Naphtali, and out of the half-tribe of Manasseh and Bashan 13 cities. The children of Merari, according to their families, had out of the tribe of Reuben, and out of the tribe of Gad, and out of the tribe of Zebulun 12 cities. The children of Israel gave by lot to the Levites these cities with their suburbs, as the Lord commanded by Moses. They gave out of the tribe of the children of Judah, and out of the tribe of the children of Simeon, these cities which are here mentioned by name. And they were for the children of Aaron, of the families of the Kohathites, who were of the children of Levi, for theirs was the first lot. They gave them Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak, the same as Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, with the suburbs of it round about it. But the fields of the city and the villages of it gave they to Caleb the son of Jephunneh for his possession. To the children of Aaron the priest they gave Hebron with its suburbs, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Libnah with its suburbs, and Jatir with its suburbs, and Eshtemoa with its suburbs, and Holon with its suburbs, and Debir with its suburbs, and Ain with its suburbs, and Juttah with its suburbs, and Bethshemesh with its suburbs, 9 cities out of those 2 tribes. Out of the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with its suburbs, Geba with its suburbs, Anathoth with its suburbs, and Almon with its suburbs, 4 cities. All the cities of the children of Aaron the priest were 13 cities with their suburbs. The families of the children of Kohath, the Levites, even the rest of the children of Kohath, they had the cities of their lot out of the tribe of Ephraim. They gave them Shechem with its suburbs in the hill country of Ephraim, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Gezer with its suburbs, and Gibzaim with its suburbs, and Beth-horon with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Dan, Elteke with its suburbs, Gibbethon with its suburbs, Ajalon with its suburbs, Gath-Rimmon with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Tanakh with its suburbs, and Gath-Rimmon with its suburbs, 2 cities. All the cities of the families of the rest of the children of Kohath were 10 with their suburbs. To the children of Gershon, of the families of the Levites, out of the half-tribe of Manasseh they gave Golan in Bashan with its suburbs, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Beshterah with its suburbs, 2 cities. Out of the tribe of Issachar, Kishion with its suburbs, Dabaroth with its suburbs, Jarmuth with its suburbs, Enganim with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Asher, Mishal with its suburbs, Abdon with its suburbs, Helkath with its suburbs, and Rehob with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh in Galilee with its suburbs, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Hamothdor with its suburbs, and Kartan with its suburbs, 3 cities. All the cities of the Gershonites according to their families were 13 cities with their suburbs. To the families of the children of Merari, the rest of the Levites out of the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with its suburbs, and Karta with its suburbs, Dimnah with its suburbs, Nahalal with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Reuben, Bezer with its suburbs, and Jehaz with its suburbs, Kedemoth with its suburbs, and Maphath with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead with its suburbs, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Mahanaim with its suburbs, Heshbon with its suburbs, Jazer with its suburbs, 4 cities in all. All these were the cities of the children of Merari according to their families, even the rest of the families of the Levites, and their lot was 12 cities. All the cities of the Levites in the midst of the possession of the children of Israel were 48 cities with their suburbs. These cities were every one with their suburbs round about them. Thus it was with all these cities. So the Lord gave to Israel all the land which he swore to give to their fathers, and they possessed it and lived therein. The Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that he swore to their fathers, and there stood not a man of all their enemies before them. The Lord delivered all their enemies into their hand. There failed not anything of any good thing which the Lord had spoken to the house of Israel. All came to pass. Chapter 22. Then Joshua called the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, You have kept all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, and have listened to my voice in all that I commanded you. You have not left your brothers these many days to this day, but have kept the charge of the commandment of the Lord your God. Now the Lord your God has given rest to your brothers, as he spoke to them. Therefore now turn you, and get you to your tents, to the land of your possession, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you beyond the Jordan. Only take diligent heed to do the commandment and the law which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, to love the Lord your God, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave to him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them, and sent them away, and they went to their tents. Now to the one half-tribe of Manasseh Moses had given inheritance in Bashan, but to the other half gave Joshua among their brothers beyond Jordan westward. Moreover, when Joshua sent them away to their tents, he blessed them, and spoke to them, saying, Return with much wealth to your tents, and with very much cattle, with silver, and with gold, and with brass, and with iron, and with very much clothing. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brothers. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh returned, and departed from the children of Israel out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go to the land of Gilead, to the land of their possession, whereof they were possessed, according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. When they came to the region about the Jordan, that is in the land of Canaan, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by the Jordan, a great altar to look on. The children of Israel heard say, Behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built an altar in the forefront of the land of Canaan, in the region about the Jordan on the side that pertains to the children of Israel. When the children of Israel heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Israel gathered themselves together at Shiloh to go up against them to war. The children of Israel sent to the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh into the land of Gilead, Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 princes, 1 prince of a father's house, for each of the tribes of Israel. And there were every one of them head of their fathers' houses among the thousands of Israel. They came to the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, to the land of Gilead, and they spoke with them, saying, Thus says the whole congregation of the Lord, What trespass is this that you have committed against the God of Israel, to turn away this day from following the Lord, and that you have built you an altar to rebel this day against the Lord? Is the iniquity of Peor too little for us, from which we have not cleansed ourselves to this day, although there came a plague on the congregation of the Lord, that you must turn away this day from following the Lord? And it will be, seeing you rebel today against the Lord, that tomorrow he will be angry with the whole congregation of Israel. However, if the land of your possession be unclean, then pass over to the land of the possession of the Lord, in which the Lord's tents dwell, and take possession among us. But don't rebel against the Lord, nor rebel against us, in building you an altar besides the altar of the Lord our God. Didn't Achan, the son of Zerah, commit a trespass in the devoted thing, and wrath fell on all the congregation of Israel? And that man didn't perish alone in his iniquity. Then the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh answered, and spoke to the heads of the thousands of Israel. The mighty one, God, the Lord, the mighty one, God, the Lord, he knows, and Israel he shall know, if it be in rebellion, or if in trespass against the Lord. Don't save us this day, that we have built us an altar to turn away from following the Lord, or if to offer thereon burnt offering or meal offering, or if to offer sacrifices of peace offerings thereon, let the Lord himself require it. And if we have not rather out of carefulness done this, and of purpose, saying, In time to come your children might speak to our children, saying, What have you to do with the Lord, the God of Israel? For the Lord has made the Jordan a border between us and you, you children of Reuben and children of Gad. You have no portion in the Lord. So might your children make our children cease from fearing the Lord. Therefore we said, Let us now prepare to build us an altar, not for burnt offerings, nor for sacrifice, but it shall be a witness between us and you, and between our generations after us, that we may do the service of the Lord before him with our burnt offerings, and with our sacrifices, and with our peace offerings, that your children may not tell our children in time to come, You have no portion in the Lord. Therefore we said, It shall be, when they tell us, or to our generations in time to come, that we shall say, Behold the pattern of the altar of the Lord which our fathers made, not for burnt offerings nor for sacrifice, but it is a witness between us and you. Far be it from us that we should rebel against the Lord, and turn away this day from following the Lord, to build an altar for burnt offering, for meal offering, or for sacrifice, besides the altar of the Lord our God that is before his tent. When Phinehas the priest and the princes of the congregation, even the heads of the thousands of Israel that were with him, heard the words that the children of Reuben, and that the children of Gad, and the children of Manasseh spoke, it pleased them well. Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest said to the children of Reuben, and to the children of Gad, and to the children of Manasseh, This day we know that the Lord is in the midst of us, because you have not committed this trespass against the Lord. Now you have delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of the Lord. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, and the princes returned from the children of Reuben and from the children of Gad, out of the land of Gilead to the land of Canaan, to the children of Israel, and brought them word again. The thing pleased the children of Israel, and the children of Israel blessed God, and spoke no more of going up against them to war, to destroy the land in which the children of Reuben and the children of Gad lived. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad called the altar Ed, for they said, It is a witness between us that the Lord is God. Chapter 23. It happened after many days, when the Lord had given rest to Israel from all their enemies round about, and Joshua was old and well stricken in years, that Joshua called for all Israel, for their elders and for their heads, and for their judges and for their officers, and said to them, I am old and well stricken in years, and you have seen all that the Lord your God has done to all these nations because of you. For the Lord your God, he has fought for you. Behold, I have allotted to you these nations that remain, to be an inheritance for your tribes, from the Jordan, with all the nations that I have cut off, even to the great sea toward the going down of the sun. The Lord your God, he will thrust them out from before you, and drive them out of your sight, and you shall possess their land as the Lord your God spoke to you. Therefore be you very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that you not turn aside from it to the right hand or to the left, that you not come among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves down to them, but cleave to the Lord your God, as you have done to this day. For the Lord has driven out from before you great nations and strong, but as for you, no man has stood before you to this day. 1 man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God is he who fights for you, as he spoke to you. Take good heed therefore to yourselves that you love the Lord your God, or else, if you do at all go back, and cleave to the remnant of these nations, even these who remain among you, and make marriages with them, and go into them, and they to you. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive these nations from out of your sight, but they shall be a snare and a trap to you, and a scourge in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off this good land which the Lord your God has given you. Behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, and you know in all your hearts and in all your souls that not one thing has failed of all the good things which the Lord your God spoke concerning you. All are happened to you, not one thing has failed of it. It shall happen that as all the good things that are come on you of which the Lord your God spoke to you, so will the Lord bring on you all the evil things, until he has destroyed you from off this good land which the Lord your God has given you. when you disobey the covenant of the Lord your God which he commanded you, and go and serve other gods, and bow down yourselves to them, then will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and you shall perish quickly from off the good land which he has given to you. Chapter 24. Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem, and called for the elders of Israel, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and they presented themselves before God. Joshua said to all the people, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, Your fathers lived of old time beyond the river, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. I took your father Abraham from beyond the river, and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed, and gave him Isaac. I gave to Isaac Jacob and Esau, and I gave to Esau Mount Seir, to possess it, and Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. I sent Moses and Aaron, and I plagued Egypt, according to that which I did in the midst of it, and afterward I brought you out. I brought your fathers out of Egypt, and you came to the sea, and the Egyptians pursued after your fathers with chariots and with horsemen to the Red Sea. When they cried out to the Lord, he put darkness between you and the Egyptians, and brought the sea on them and covered them, and your eyes saw what I did in Egypt, and you lived in the wilderness many days. I brought you into the land of the Amorites that live beyond the Jordan, and they fought with you, and I gave them into your hand, and you possessed their land, and I destroyed them from before you. Then Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and fought against Israel, and he sent and called Balaam the son of Beor to curse you. But I would not listen to Balaam. Therefore he blessed you still, so I delivered you out of his hand. You went over the Jordan and came to Jericho, and the men of Jericho fought against you, the Amorite and the Perizzite, and the Canaanite and the Hittite and the Girgashite, the Hivite and the Jebusite, and I delivered them into your hand. I sent the hornet before you, which drove them out from before you, even the 2 kings of the Amorites, not with your sword nor with your bow. I gave you a land whereon you had not labored, and cities which you didn't build, and you dwell therein. Of vineyards and olive groves which you didn't plant, do you eat. Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. If it seem evil to you to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The people answered, Far be it from us that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For the Lord our God, he it is who brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, and who did those great signs in our sight, and preserved us in all the ways in which we went, and among all the peoples through the midst of whom we passed. And the Lord drove out from before us all the peoples, even the Amorites who lived in the land. Therefore we also will serve the Lord, for he is our God. Joshua said to the people, You cannot serve the Lord, for he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your disobedience nor your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, then he will turn and do you evil and consume you, after that he has done you good. The people said to Joshua, No, but we will serve the Lord. Joshua said to the people, You are witnesses against yourselves that you have chosen the Lord to serve him. They said, We are witnesses. Now therefore put away, he said, the foreign gods which are among you, and incline your heart to the Lord, the God of Israel. The people said to Joshua, The Lord our God we will serve, and to his voice we will listen. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and set them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem. Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a great stone, and set it up there under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. Joshua said to all the people, Behold, this stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord which he spoke to us. It shall be therefore a witness against you, lest you deny your God.
So Joshua sent the people away, every man to his inheritance. It happened after these things, that Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. They buried him in the border of his inheritance, in Timnath-serah, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, on the north of the mountain of Gaash. Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders who outlived Joshua, and had known all the work of the Lord that he had worked for Israel. The bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel brought up out of Egypt, they buried in Shechem, in the parcel of ground which Jacob bought of the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. And they became the inheritance of the children of Joseph. Eleazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him in the hill of Phinehas his son, which was given him in the hill country of Ephraim.